Welcome to the Northwest Montana Fair and Rodeo. This is our webpage. And if you're looking to register exhibits for the fair, you can click on the 2024 Fair Book tab. As you scroll down, you'll see a digital version of the Fair Book, which you can flip through to see different pages that come up and the different things that you can register for, including all the instructions that you need to know for each department. It's laid out with the open departments first and the 4-H departments at the tail end of the book. If I was going to come in and register my 4-H child, you click on Fair Entries, and you will see this welcome screen. To begin, click circle number 1 to register. You enter the first name of the person who is registering their entries. In my case, it will be my daughter. Her name is Hortense Floofer. And you hit continue. After you hit the button that says, I'm a new exhibitor, I have yet to register this year. If you have previously registered, we do not retain those registrations, so you have to hit that new entry each year. You will create a password. This can be anything that you can remember, and you'll put in your address as well. Phone number, your email, and then of course, to confirm your email, make sure it's typed in correctly. When your information is complete, you can hit the continue button. You double check your information and hit continue. Now, here's where you can choose a department to begin to register. Let's say that my child is bringing a craft. I select the craft department, and then I select a division within crafts. My child is 13 years old, so I select 19 junior. As you can see, there's many different crafts items that you can select from in this list. Let's say that my child is bringing an aircraft Lego item made from a kit. If I have other craft items to bring, I would select those also before scrolling to the bottom. And hit Add Entry to the cart. My child is also planning to bring some carrots that they grew in the garden this year. If I go to the agricultural department, I will find the divisions below. Since my child is in 4-H, I will select Division 65. And again, there's a list of all the things that you can bring. At the top are carrots. These are half-long carrots. If she was to bring other items, I would select those items and scroll to the bottom. I would have to choose a club, and she's a part of Golden Spurs, and add the entry to the cart. Now, my child is also planning to bring a market hog. I go under 4-H department and find swine. Under division, there's only one to pick. I will need to choose a class for her, and I want to add market hog. This hog will have a tag ID. Her tag ID is 123. She also has a backup hog. To add that, I add a slash, and a backup tag ID is 124. Again, the club is Golden Spurs, and the animal name is Pinky. And then I add the entry to the cart. Now, when bringing in a market animal, I also have to choose a showmanship class for her. So I go back to swine. I choose the division, which is the only one there. I choose a class. She's going to be a junior novice hog showman. And I add the same tag ID that I put in before. Again, the club is the same, and the animal name is the same as well. Now it's important for us to put in an animal name because that's how the fair knows how many animals are coming to the fair. All right. Normally, in years past, we would have to add a carcass class as well, but we've eliminated that this year. The animal will still go through the carcass process, but you don't have to register here. I'm all done with entries for Hortense, so I would hit the continue button, and it will give me a summary of what I've added to my cart. I check to make sure it's all there. If I don't have an item that's missing, I can click the button that says add more entries, but since they're all there, I can save the cart for later, or I can check out. Now remember, if you save it for later, you do have to come and finish checking out in order to be registered. Right now, I'm ready to check out. My signature is typing yes in this box to make sure I understand what's written up above, and then I hit submit. It will give me a confirmation ID, and the checkbox is pre-filled in to say that it will send a receipt to my email address. I hit finish, or I can print the receipt. I evaluate my experience here. It was wonderful, so I gave it 5 stars. And then I submit my feedback. On this screen, I can review what's there. I can print a packing list, which probably isn't necessary. Entry tags is not necessary because the fair office will be doing those later. This should finish the checkout process. You should check your email to make sure that you've got a confirmation to ensure that all your entries were submitted correctly. This is the confirmation email that you should see when you finish your exhibit registrations. Make sure it's correct. If you need to have corrections, please call the fair office. Normally they would have to delete the entire thing to make any changes. But if you need to add something, you can simply log back in using your same registration that you created. Do not create a new one so that they will land in the correct spot. I noticed from my email confirmation that I forgot to register my daughter's photography. So I can go back to the Northwest Montana Fair page into this registration process. And now I can just hit the sign in button in the upper right hand corner. I choose I am an exhibitor and use my registration information from before. As you can see here, it pre-filled it. And then I can click I have previously registered this year. Enter my password and hit continue. If the information is correct, I continue. I can create entries. I can choose a department. Now, since my daughter's in 4-H and wants to bring 4-H photos for part of her 4-H project, I do not enter into the open class photography department that's down at the bottom of this list, but I select up above 4-H or FFA general projects. Under the division list, I should be able to find photography. I can choose a class. She's going to bring a color pet photo. And she's going to title it The Wonderful Pal Pal. And then, of course, we need to put the club back in. Golden Spurs. I add the entry to the cart. And I hit continue. And I'm ready to check out again. Check to make sure it's correct and hit checkout. Again, I type in my agreement to the above statement and hit submit. Make sure that it's going to my email address and hit finish. I rate my experience a second time. Again, it was wonderful. Now I can see all the things that I've registered thus far. I can check my email again to make sure that I completed the process correctly. There. All her exhibits are complete. We're getting ready for a great fair.